I gaze over starry harbor, and the yacht with its billowing sail, but my body is here in the bowling, but my heart's in and on the hill. For the curse of the drink is upon me. It softens my will and my brain, and whenever I save a few dollars, I fall off the wagon again. But I'm thinking tonight of crude boring, the blaskets and fair-gown shebang, where the sun is a red bonfire as it sets on and on the air.
Please help me, I'm falling, and that would be sin. Close the door to temptation, don't let me walk in. Turn away from me, darling, I am begging you to. Please help me, I'm falling in love with you. I belong to another whose arms are open, but I promise forever to have and to hold. I
the Clounmacon in the town of Listowel. Toodaloo, for the week of the races in lovely Listowel. I beat to Bundor and I rambled to Bray. I footed into Bantry with beautiful day. But I got there with cherubs, I would find my soul. For the week of the races in lovely Listowel. Toodaloo, for the week of the races in lovely Listowel. There were bookies and bankmen and bankers and gold. Billy Mulligan was there with a green coloured shawl, and a kid with the Bible should pencil the wall. Took me down for a round in the town of Listowel. Toodaloo, for the week of the races in lovely Listowel. Beyond on the course there was St. flashing past, the unfortunate horse that I backed, he came last. When he ran the wrong measure I lost my control, and I prayed for his freedom and lovely Listowel. Toodaloo, for the week of the races in lovely Listowel. All night time, how are you? My truth was day, and the stars in the sky, they looked down in dismay. And they says to the wounded in accent so droll, you've gone for the sunshine tonight in Listowel. Toodaloo, for the week of the races in lovely Listowel. They came from Castleisland, they came from Tralee, and a good luck and gentleman came from Fiji. With Dutchman, a German, a Swede and a Pole, should have more like Geneva and lovely Listowel. Toodaloo, for the week of the races in lovely Listowel. My rhyming is over, God bless those who have. So I'll take to the road like a migrating bird. But before I depart, well, you all must pay toll. Three cheers for the races in lovely Listowel. Toodaloo, for the week of the races in lovely Listowel.
shine like me, or a king upon the throne. For there are no exceptions. We all stand in the line. Everybody needs a friend. Let me tell you of mine. He's my forever friend, my leave me never friend. From darkest nights to rainbow's end, he's my forever friend. Even when I turn away, he cares for me. His love no one can shake. Even as I walk away, he's by my side. With every breath I take. And sometimes I forget him, my halo fails to shine. Sometimes I'm not his friend, but he is always mine. He's my forever friend, my leave me never friend. From darkest nights to rainbow's end, he's my forever friend.
Don't give away one pleasant evening in the month of May. I spied a damsel, she was young and handsome, but her beauty nearly stole my breath away. She wore no jewels, no costly diamonds, no paint, no powder, no none at all. She wore a bonnet with a ribbon on it, and around her shoulder hung the Galway shawl. He kept on walking, she kept on talking, till her father's bargain came into view. She said, "Come in, sir, and meet my father, and play to please him the folly do." I played the blackbird, the sky valley, Rodney's glory, and the foggy dew. She sang each note like an Irish linnet, and the tears rolled down from her eyes so blue. She wore no jewels, no costly diamonds, no paint, no powder, no at all. But she wore a bonnet with a ribbon on it, and around her shoulder hung the Galway shawl.
as I sail away from you. The dreams and plans we cherished as we shared these last few years, they're slowly being extinguished. They run down my face in tears. This heart of mine is breaking. It's pounding in my breast. Still everybody tells me that you know it's for the best. But today I lose my best friend as I leave you both behind. Both you, my love, and Ireland will be always on my mind. Oh, the lights of Rosslare Harbour are fading from my view. Alone on board a ferry as I sail away from you. The dreams and plans we cherished as we shared these last few years are slowly being extinguished. They run down my face in tears. I'm sitting by the window as the ship sails out to sea. The flashing lights of Tusker are my only company. And for a few brief moments, as we share our last farewell, who knows how long 'twill be before I see her lights again. Oh, the lights of Rosslare Harbour are fading from my view. Alone on board a ferry as I sail away from you. The dreams and plans we cherished as we shared these last few years, they're slowly being extinguished. They run down my face in tears.
A dreamer, and I've no doubt there's truth in what they say. For sure our body's bound to be a dreamer when all the things she loves are far away. And precious things are dreams unto an exile. They take her o'er a land across the sea, especially when it happens she's an exile from that dear lovely Isle of Innisfree. I wander o'er green hills and dreamy valleys and find a peace no other land could know. I hear the birds make music fit for angels and watch the rivers laughing as they flow. And then into a humble house I wander, my own sweet home, and tenderly behold the folks I love around the tar fire gathered, on bended knee the rosary is said.
dying trees go, undying fame, surround your name, shout sound. Fill the time.
Sites. But the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Nagas at Granasic Samagee.
Now Samagee came from Tennessee where the cotton blooms and blows, where he left his home in the south of Rome, round the cold God only knows. He was all well cold with a land of gold, seemed to hold him in a spell. He would sometimes say in his homely way, I would rather live in hell.
On a Christmas day we were washing away along the Dawson Trail, and talking to a cold through the Parker's Ford, it pierced like a driven nail. If our eyes were closed and the lashes froze, till the friends we couldn't see, it wasn't much fun when the only one to whimper was Samagee.
And that same night as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel and toe. He turned to me then caps the key, I cash in on this trip I guess, and if I do, I ask that you would refuse my last request.
But he seemed so low that I couldn't say no, and he said in a sort of moan, it's disgusted cold and it's got like hold and I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Still it ain't been dead, it's the awful dread of the icy grave that pains, and I'm asking you to promise true, you'll cremate my last remains.
Now, Paul's last needed a thing to heed, and I swore I wouldn't fail. We started off on the streak of dawn, but God, he was ghastly pale. He was counting the sleigh and raved all day of his home in Tennessee. But before nightfall, a corpse at all that was left out Samagee.
There wasn't a breath in that land of death as I hurried hobbled driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid of because of a promise given. It was last of the sleigh and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brain, but you promised true and it's up to you to cremate my last remains.
Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trade had its own certain cord. In the days that come, though my lips were numb and my heart tower cuts that load. In the long, long nights by their own firelight, when the huskies around their ring, howl out their woes to the homeless knows, my God, how I love that thing.
And every day that quiet day seemed to heavy and heavier grow. And on in winter the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad and I felt half mad, and I swore I wouldn't give in. And I often sang to that lonesome thing, and it happened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake the Barge, and the derelict there it lay. It was jammed in the ice, and I saw it thrice. It was called the Alice May. I looked at it and I thought of it, and I glanced at my frozen chum. Now here said I with a sudden cry, my Clement saw him.
The board I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found was lying around, and I piled the fuel higher. The flame just soared in that thunderous roar, such a blaze you'd seldom see. I bored a hole in the glowing coal, and I sipped in Sam McGee. I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sidle so. The heavens scrolled and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out that asked about, and again I ventured near.
I was secret great, but I bravely said I'll just take a peek inside. I guess he's hooked, and this time I looked, in the door I opened wide, and there sat Sam looking cool and calm, in the heart of the foremost row. And he wore a smile, he could see a mile, and he said, please close that door. 'Tis nice in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Clounmacon down in Tennessee, it's the first time that I've been warm.
Now the tale is great, but does not relate what became of Sam McGee. If you ever stray towards the Alice May, he's there, he still may be. And if the fire gone lower in the frost and the snow, it will trace a little goes more, find the fuel fire and start the fire, and begin as you did before. And if the lazy louts and nothing come out, would insist therein to dwell, put your message straight. If he wants more hate, tell him.
You'll go to hell.